Hey, everybody, what's going on? It is James here with Crypto Common Sense, aka Three Peaks Trading, and I figured I'd sit down this morning and shoot a quick Bitcoin market update. So it is Saturday, July 27th, 2024, and in this video we're going to talk about three charts: the Bitcoin Daily, the Bitcoin 3-Day, and the Bitcoin Weekly. So first thing, here's the Bitcoin Daily chart. I would say this looks more bullish than bearish to me, okay? When I look at this chart, what I see, I'm going to take this one off. This is a trade that would still be open. What I see on this is I see a market that moved off of its 50-day moving average, found support, moved back off of it, came down, potentially trapped bears, and is trying to move back off of it again. We have this long tail that's left behind, that tail sitting right on top of that 50 simple moving average. And to me, if I was trading Bitcoin, which again, full disclosure, I don't trade Bitcoin anymore, but if I was trading Bitcoin and I had access to a site where the fees weren't absolutely ridiculous, I may have been looking for long positions on the close of this green candle with a stop loss at the bottom of that tail and a minimum 2-to-1 target, which would be up around $70,550. So to me, this looks bullish, right? We have a nice tail and support on a moving average. If we jump over to a 3-day chart, just happen to notice this. This is that old bear market box that did very well by me back in 2018, 2019. And essentially, historically, what I've seen with this box is when it finds support on top of this box, it tends to lead to a move into the overbought territory on RSI. So, for example, and there's not a lot of data on this, but for example, if we go back in time to 2019, right, it broke out of the box, went right into the overbought territory. This is back in March of 2019, broke out of it here, came down for the retest in January of 2020, again, led to more upside right into the overbought territory in February, which was a move from the 50 simple moving average, right? Kind of interesting. Look at this. Right on the 50 simple. Remember that. Right on top of that box. Okay. Here again, retest that box. This was in May of 2020, down around $8,500 for a move up into the overbought territory on RSI and around 12,000, 12,500 or something for a little bit of a pullback. So historically speaking, again, it is more bullish in nature. Nothing is ever guaranteed. But I do find it a bit curious that, and pickups, of course, because I'm doing a video, but I find it a bit curious that we are, once again, tapping the top of this box while at the same time tapping this 50 simple moving average. Now, this moving average is a 3-day moving average, so it's not the same as the 50 on the daily. But again, to me, that points more to a bullish scenario than it does a bearish scenario. And if we go look at a weekly chart, we still have almost a day and a half, 2 days left on this candlestick. So a lot can happen before this candlestick closes. This is in reference to something else. I'm going to take it off. But essentially, if it closes looking this way or similar to this, it's again something that to me looks more bullish than bearish. We're sitting at the top of this channel. We went down underneath this 19-week moving average, but so far the bulls have pushed it back up. And so again, if this candlestick closes like this with this big tail, to me it looks like trapped bears. Looks like bears who got a little bit early to the party and got trapped. And a lot of times that liquidity is going to propel that market forward. And if it breaks higher than it already is, it's going to start, tiptoeing outside of this parallel channel, and you will have a lot of traders who are potentially watching that channel and are looking to play that as a flag, a great big flag. Okay. And so it could be the catalyst for more money to enter into the Bitcoin space, which would further push it up. And the target it's a pretty incredible target. I almost hesitate to even get the target because I don't like, throwing big numbers around, but just going by pure TA, nothing else, just pure TA If we go over here and we put a trend extension on this chart, let's just say that this is our flag pull right through here, not the whole move, but starting back around September of 2023, it would look something like this. This was our low. It's going to give us a target up around $102,000. Okay. If this ends up being a flag. Do I think it's a flag? I mean, I'm always a little bit skeptical, but if we're just talking about chart patterns, it looks like a flag. Volume is not picking up quite as much as, would be nice for a little bit more confirmation, but it hasn't actually broke out yet. So it breaks out and we start seeing a big spike in volume. I mean, it looks like a flag. And again, I'm not somebody that's, trading Bitcoin. So whether it is or isn't, it is whatever. I mean, I hold a small amount of Bitcoin, but nothing too serious. Just Bitcoin that I've been holding for about 7 years. It's, what I used to call my HODL portfolio. I don't even have all of it anymore. I got rid of some of it in 2021. But, I tell you I have it so that it's disclosed. So nobody comes back later and says, oh, you were trying to make it go up. It's not enough for me to care whether it goes up. But it looks, right now, it's looking pretty healthy. So we shall see. We'll take a look at one more chart real quick because the video is under 10 minutes. So I should be able to sneak this in. Let's look at the market cycle chart. Market cycle chart looks pretty good too, right? This is what I talked about in one of those previous videos. This was that level of support. It came down out of that channel, tapped that level of support, and so far has just moved right off of that level, which plays right into this idea that this is potentially the hope phase before it starts the parabolic part of the bull cycle, right? Which would be pretty incredible. Yeah. And it looks pretty healthy. Let's look at one more chart. This is not specifically Bitcoin, but it's the total market cap versus the QQQ. And same thing, right? On this chart, it looked like this was a disbelief pump, and it looked like it was pulling back to the top of this range, which would be support. I talked about this, of course, all ahead of time, like before it happened. These are the things I said to watch for. And so far, it has bounced right off of that. So again, if that is the disbelief phase on the total market cap versus QQQ, that would put us somewhere over in this ballpark here, right after that dump, which would mean that, again, we could be poised to be entering into the parabolic start of the parabolic phase of the market cycle. So maybe I need to start trading Bitcoin again, huh? You look at something like the ETFs, and that's a possibility, but there's a whole lot of caveats there with liquidity and market hours and things like that. So I probably won't trade it, but I don't know. This turns into a parabolic market cycle. I may have to figure out something to get involved with, maybe a little bit of money or something, because I hate to just completely miss out on that, free money, so to speak. But we'll see. This is obviously, none of this is guaranteed. These are just things that it's the way that I'm leaning right now. And I used to get mad at people, and I used to say, I couldn't stand when people flip-flop like wet noodles. But the reality is, if the market suddenly does something different over the next week or the next few weeks, maybe I will flip to a different opinion. But for the most part, guys, I've been fairly bullish, neutral to bullish, for over a year now. So far, uptrend, unless there's some type of catalyst that comes and knocks us off course, markets generally like the trend. So that's my 2 cents, or my 2 Satoshis, if you will. Obviously, take it with a grain of salt, because I'm just some guy sitting in a spare bedroom, which means that nothing in the video is financial advice, and you should always go out and do your own due diligence and seek out professional financial advice from a licensed financial advisor for making any type of investment in cryptocurrency, stock market, precious metals, Forex, or any other tradable assets. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And of course, feel free to leave me a comment letting me know your thoughts. But most importantly, please remember to trade safe.